So if we didn't have an underwriting belief, many of us, in our unconscious and original sin, would we choose a more positive way to motivate ourselves?
Well, there wasn't always an original sin, you know.
No, belief in. No, there wasn't.
Well, we're not, since we don't have that belief, we're not really quite sure what it says.
Well,
in other words, it's really easy to put a label on things.
Well, something about deservability.
Well, you know, we talk about the dynamic. Adrienne is talking about the dynamic of human history. A situation that we call the separation. And it's, if you can understand it from our perspective, it is no different than any sort of species growing from a childhood to an adolescent to a young adulthood to an adulthood, and then passing back over again, a life cycle. And so if you understand it, that humanity, species, have life cycles just as individuals have life cycles. And so as a species, that time that you're talking about that was supposedly one of original sin is really only your definition, a child's definition at that, of a, what shall we say, a somewhat traumatic situation. From our perspective, it was no more traumatic than a child getting spanked.
Well, it's traumatic to the child, but it's not that big a deal.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And yet you've written books about it. You've built religions around it. You've created gods and goddesses around it. You have done all of this dynamic when you know, and again, just to explain it, it was a movement from the collective consciousness in that quote unquote, that analogous, that metaphorical garden experience, into your, what shall we say, more adolescence experience of where you have been on a journey of individuation. We describe it as that in the garden experience, you had a collective relationship with all that is, and now you each have individual relationships with all that is. But that's not really the point, is it, Adrienne?
Well, the point is about, you were saying it's just as easy to learn and grow through positive experiences, but when we get the positive...
But wait. No, we're talking about original sin. You brought up original sin. Come on, you can't skip over to the other thing. We've got to get back to original sin here, because there's so much in your world that's built upon that dynamic of belief.
A belief that we're flawed.
The belief that you screwed up, this feminine especially.
Right.
Eve, apple, snake.
Yes.
Eve, apple, snake. Eve, apple, snake.
Right, that's our fault.
Okay, well, no, it's women's fault.
Well, yes, as a woman.
It's the feminine's fault. Original sin belongs to women.
That's the belief. So that
and
belief...
you know what? From our perspective, would have been the proper response to the separation.
Do that again.
Oops. And yet, here you are.
Right.
Are you about to do it again?
No.
Are you sure?
Sure enough.
Okay. So what do you think is going to happen?
In what arena?
Oh, the one that you're living in. Because that's the only arena there is.
I believe there is the opportunity for
whom?
Humanity.
What about your opportunity?
My opportunity, certainly, to see that as the old belief in original sin, the old belief in guilt, the old belief in lack of deservability.
Oh my God, what would happen then, dear one, if you did not have this overriding guilt of existence that stain upon the character of your species that can never, ever be erased. Never enough bleach to take that stain away. We exaggerate to make a point, but,
Well, we do not know. It does seem awfully big to even imagine it, but perhaps that is exactly why I feel when the positives is offered, I don't quite believe it.
Well, and how many of you do? That's ultimately the question, isn't it?